Hello, I'm Jody Wolf. You're watching Expoz, June 17, 2018, 2:40 a.m., Birmingham. And topic, once again, God is in town. And he'll be here a while. He'll be here close. Call on him. He hears you. Okay, topic. Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman, the basketball player. He was a complete idiot. He was a nut. He wore women's clothes, even a woman's wedding gown, lipstick, red hair, a nut. And that's just a little bit of the many, many stupid things he did. Everyone joked about him going to North Korea to meet Kim. It seems like they kind of clicked a little bit. So after his visit, he told Kim, he said, "Would you like for me to bring a basketball team over here and play an exhibition game for you?" And Kim said, "Can you do that?" He said, "Yes, sir." Well, Rodman actually did, and which was good. He broke the ice. And I would dare say that it made it a little easier for Trump to meet with them and to have everything at ease during that meeting. No one was, Kim was sweaty, but he's always sweaty. But with, Rodman, I always call him a nut. I wouldn't even watch him. I mean, he was always, he wore a tutu playing basketball one day. And, but you know what? All those things I said about him, I take them back. He's not such a bad fella after all. He was interviewed by, I think, Sarah or McKellen on Fox. I believe it was like either 4 or 5 p.m., I think 4 p.m. She interviewed him, and she tried to get across, what kind of man is he? Does he understand what it is to give up these nuclear weapons? And Rodman couldn't respond in a satisfactory way for her. Or maybe it was the guy that interviewed him. But that was day before yesterday. I do recall that when they asked what kind of man Kim was, he said, well, he's a little bit slow. And I think that's why he and Rodman hit it off. Because I look at Rodman at a little bit slow. But it didn't negate the things he did that turned out perhaps being good for the United States when he went to North Korea. I want to let you know that he did that. And at the time, he wasn't going for any other reason because he just wanted to meet Kim. That was it. So let me tell you what you're hearing about today with Steve Quayle. You hear about it from Marzulli. You hear about it from Tom Horn and many, many others that things are getting really bad for the United States. Things are getting really, really bad. The things that is in the Bible that's going to come upon us, and that day is very near. There may even be a meteor strike upon this world. And so the list goes on and on when you hear these people talk about the AIs that they're developing in laboratories and the crossbreeding that they're developing in laboratories. And they're still doing it between animal and man. And they're trying to make a new man. However, I am changing my mind on a rapture before Trump's first term. And I'm saying this because of what our president is doing in this nation. It will take some time to put together a program for North Korea. It'll take time to do the same for Iran. If you notice, they've not sent any more troops over to Syria. They've not out there playing their mini war games. They're pretty much stopped because they don't have that $150 billion to play with. And the Christians, the community that has underground Christians in it, they're elated. They're extremely excited about that. Even they say tensions are at all-time low rather than a high. And look, all this happened in less than 20 days. So as far as a rapture date, I'm going to be more open to between 10 and 30 years from now. I don't believe that we're in a rapture window. I don't believe that we're at a time when all hell's going to break loose and it's going to catch us all off guard. Because Israel, keep in mind, it says in the Bible, when you hear Israel yell peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes. Well, guess what? There's no peace and safety in Israel today. There's none. And people keep saying, well, there's peace and safety. Well, they're not. They still have walled villages. Remember, there won't even be walled villages. They'll no longer carry their guns on the streets the way every person has to serve a certain time in the military. And the gun they are given, usually an AK or an AR, they carry that gun with them at all times. On duty, off duty. And after they're out, they still carry that gun. Well, they're not yelling peace, peace because they do not have it yet. That's one reason that there won't be a rapture anytime soon, because when you see peace, peace, sudden destruction comes, well, they've not got to that peace era yet. They hadn't got there. And they'll have it not like a month or two or even a year or two. They're going to have it for several years. That'll be peace, peace that the Bible talks about. So I'm not looking for a rapture in the next 10 to 30 years, because I believe what Trump puts in place, and I believe that why did I say that? I believe that Israel will grow and prosper more than they ever have. And by that, it'll take time to get there. They're not going to do it overnight. But again, they're already a major exporter of natural gas. And guess who the major importer of that gas is? Russia. And I want to say something about Russia. I do not believe that Russia is Gog of Magog. I do not believe that Russia is mentioned among those in Ezekiel 38:39. I believe that Putin, like he said he was, is a Christian. Remember, he was raised by a Jewish family. He has been to visit Netanyahu multiple times over the many years. Netanyahu has been to visit him many times over the years, and several in the past few months. Netanyahu agreed, Netanyahu with Putin agreed. He told Putin, he said, look, I have got to fight back. I got to stop him from sniping at us across the borders. And Netanyahu told his to stand down. Netanyahu told Iran, stand down. In fact, Netanyahu said, hold up on the S-300 delivery to Syria. So he's doing these things so that Israel can do what it takes to bring peace to their land. If he was that bad of a guy, why would he do that? And they keep saying, Israel is our enemy. I mean, Russia. I apologize. I keep saying, giving you wrong names. They keep saying Russia is our enemy. Well, the left is calling Russia our enemy. But what and when have they threatened us? They haven't. They've gone and taken part of the Ukraine, Crimea, and went through Georgia and took some of the oil fields, but they did this for a warm water port. So what they did was a strategic value rather than bullying and going through and just taking countries, you know. And when the Ezekiel 38-39 war takes place, I do not believe Putin will be in it. I don't believe he will send men in that war. I'm not saying that men from his country won't go, because remember, the majority of the military are Muslim in Russia. They have a mind of their own, and you all know that. So we've got some good times ahead, some truly peaceful times, healing times, times to prosper. And all of you who hate the fact that Trump is bringing so much good to our nation, you're very welcome to go ahead and move on to Canada. We would appreciate it if you would do that. And you're very welcome not to take that pay raise, that tax increase. You're welcome to just keep paying the higher taxes. You're welcome to back out and opt out of anything that Trump is doing that would benefit you. Just say you're not going to take it. Go back to your old ways, and you will see how much more costly it will be for you. From the time Trump started till now, your life is a whole lot easier, but you still hate Trump. Well, God will deal with you on that in due time. But some people that just says, hell no, period, well, good chance that when the rapture of the church occurs, they will be left behind. Guys, another request. Pray that North Korea will do and take the idea that Trump had and run with it. It will benefit them, and it'll benefit the Asian countries in a major, major way. Jody Wolf, Expoz.